I, George Jarvis Miles, am in a reminiscent mood regarding my early life. We set out and arrived at the shearing pens, where we sought out the boss of the Panguitch Livestock Company. Richard decided to go home, but I told the boss I'd be glad to work for nothing until we reached the lambing area if he'd put me on there. He smiled and said, "Okay." At the pens, I happened to see a Spaniard among the herders, and as I had learned some Spanish from my mother, I addressed him in his language. This act elicited a friendly response in his idioma. The boss happened to see me on friendly terms with the Spaniard, and as he was having some difficulty with the man at that time, he assigned me to be the Spaniard's helper on the long trail to the lambing grounds. At that time, I was not aware of the bad blood between the Spaniard and the trail boss. Jose, the Spaniard, filled me in as to his reasons for hating the trail boss. He talked of little else as we spent time in the sheep wagon at night. At one time, he became really animated as he pulled his gun to show me how he was going to kill the trail boss.
He's a tyrant! He can treat us that way! This is how I'm going to show him!
Hey, point that thing somewhere else.
No load. No load.
Point it out the door and pull the trigger.
Because of my lack of sheep herding technique, I was of little assistance to Jose during the nighttime restlessness of our herd, especially on the moonlight nights when the sheep would start out for parts unknown and if not stopped would mix with another herd, thus causing severe difficulties in separating them. My faux pas incurred Jose's wrath at times, but his anger soon cooled as I was his Spanish-speaking friend. Perhaps his only friend among the company personnel. We became, in a sense, pals, each trying to be the best herders of the best herd. Our days on the trail were arduous and taxed our stamina, for we had to walk back and forth behind the sheep herd, keeping them together and at a discreet distance from the other herds on the trail. We spent some 14 days to arrive at the lambing grounds. The distance by the road was near 125 miles, but we must have walked 1,000 or more miles. Some of our stops were on the run in order to keep the herd intact. As the sheep were shorn of their woolly coats, they were restless at night, especially, as mentioned above, on moonlight nights, and they would often head out with the baa-ing and tingling of bells. On these frequent occasions, Jose would awaken me as he stepped into his boots, and I'd pull on my shoes and we would go out to the sheep, and with shouts and the firing of the camp rifle, we would round them up and bring them into the bedding ground.
Get on! Get back to camp! Move it!
Of course, our dog was a great help to us on the trail, and if needed, at night. A good sheepdog is a must, for the sheep can easily ignore a man, but a dog has great influence over them. A good dog will do his job without command. He will even round up the sheep by nipping the rears of the laggers or the strays. I've had some very good dogs in my sheep herding days. There were some hazards, like the time I was circling tracks through the dense growth when I came upon a very fresh bear track.